A very good afternoon. This is Binju with you, and you are tuned into At Life 360. At Life 360. What's your story that time on? And today again, I've got yet another special guest who's joining me. He is a career coach for teens and adults, Mr. Sameer GeePee. Thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you, Binju, for having me. Really happy to be here.
So, how much do you think, in a conversation, filtering the, thoughts, how much of importance does that play? Do you think that, we need to be filtering? As you said, in the midst of our interview, there were a lot of things that you were thinking of, but you had to filter it. And then, we were ending up in this conversation. So how do you think filtering of a conversation helps a person?
How it helps?
Yes. Does it help if it does?
What do you think?
I think it helps. Especially in relationships, I feel that, you need to be filtering your conversations so that, it thrives and does not struggle.
Very good. And what do you think is happening in the space of that filtering?
Maybe you start building a conflict within yourself.
But there is a word for that. There is a word for what that filtering. No. So
adjustment.
So again, you see, the word that you have chosen, filtering, is a word, correct?
Yes.
And you're bringing the baggage of sacrifice to it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you can each one of us carry a baggage for every word that we have. For you, filtering means sacrifice. For me, filtering means being more mindful, being more aware, being more thoughtful, being more concerned about other people. So when we are thinking about the baggages of what each word means to us, we are creating an opportunity for ourselves to be more mindful. And mindfulness is the activity when you're doing filtering, I believe.
Okay, great. So taking that from the conversation, let's take from the conversation, we're getting into the book. You are an author.
Yes.
There are two books that you've written that I have with me right now. One is The Awesome Cup and one is The Awesome Planner. I like what's written, a self-coaching tool designed for you to create an awesome life. So we all want to know about this tool. There was something else. Find Your GPS workshop is your, the workshop that you're doing. So can you tell us about that also?
So Find Your GPS is a workshop along which the workbook, there is a workbook and then there is a planner that goes along with the workshop.
Okay.
It's about goal setting and it's about identifying the different things in your life that you want to really change. Mm-hmm. When you start being mindful, if I were to ask you, what are your top 5 goals or 10 goals?
My top 5 goals would be maybe success is what, and then happiness is what my goal is, to be like happy and to be content and to be right.
To be happy, to be content, to be right.
Yes.
And how would you measure you got these? What would be your measure of these?
My happiness would be, how the people around me are proud of me.
What would be a measure of that?
The people,
Yeah, but what would be a measure? Is it somebody saying something or
saying?
Who?
Or maybe my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it that you want your parents to say?
Maybe that I'm leading a good life. I'm leading a good life.
So what would be an indicator of that?
I'm successful in my career and my personal life.
So what would be an indicator of that? A steady job, or what is it?
A steady job.
Or buying your own house, or what is it?
No, I would say a steady job.
Okay.
And
so you already have that?
Yes, and opportunities.
You already have that. Opportunities, you already have.
Maybe working more on it.
So what do you mean by more?
More opportunities. Making sure that, maybe a better bank account.
Yeah. So when you look at goal setting, words like these, because they're not clear, they don't give you a sense of clear direction, because there's no measurable terms in these. When you say more, when you say better, when you say you want to have extra, these are things that does not register in your mind for what is the specific action you have to take for you to achieve that.
Okay.
So if you were to say, I want to interview Sheikh Mohammed, very tangible. I want to interview 200 influential people in Dubai, very tangible, right? I want to interview the who's who of Dubai, at least 300 of them. Again, measurable, very specific. You're telling very exactly what you want to do. You want to be featured on Khalij Times newspaper on the front page, very tangible. You want to host an event that is of 500,000 or 100,000 or 7,000 people or 8,000 people, whatever that number is, very tangible. Those are moments that they can be very proud of. Then you know what you're working towards. So what the workshop does is it removes the facade. It removes the fog from people, what they really want to achieve, and gives them clarity. It gives them a focus of what is it that they want to achieve in the long term. Break it down into shorter term. A 5-year goal becomes a 3-year goal. A 3-year goal becomes a 1-year goal. A 1-year goal becomes a 100-day goal. The planner is for 100 days.
Okay.
For the next 100 days, what is it that you want to achieve in 10 areas of life? So there are 10 areas of life within this book.
Okay.
Which are like health and fitness, community and contribution, God and spirituality, career and business, family and friends. So each one of this, like for example, if you want to set a goal for yourself in your family and friends, or in some relationship that you have, how would you set a goal? Give me an example.
I think I'm really bad at keeping goals.
But randomly, if somebody else was keeping it and you were suggesting, somebody else is saying, I want to set a goal for my relationship with their daughter, let us say.
Okay.
What would be a goal?
Communication.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the relationship as in, the person should be, the daughter should, the first person the daughter thinks of when she needs help is the mother or whoever the person is.
Yes.
So communication.
So I'll give you an example of somebody who set a goal yesterday when I was having a conversation, similar one.
Okay.
So after the conversation, when we went into specifics and we went a little more deep diving into the whole goal setting process, what she arrived at was, for the next 100 days, I want to spend my time from 7 to 7:30 with my dog. Quality time.
Okay.
Very specific. And she was very clear, if she did that, this is the reward that she would take for herself.
Okay.
So there is a sense of something that is pulling her towards achieving that goal as well.
Okay.
What happens with most people is when they set goals, they have to push themselves to achieve the goals. What's missing is a shift in identity which will make them be pulled towards a goal rather than get pushed. Okay. So you don't have to struggle to wake up in the morning to go to the gym. You don't have to struggle to make time with your daughter or your son to have meaningful time. It's very clearly defined. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine.
Okay.
And I have started this journey of mindful eating. And he said, so are you eating any junk? And I said, the only junk that I eat is cashew nuts right now. And he said, okay, is there a limit? I said, I've not kept any limit. So he said, okay, don't exceed 5. And if you do, then like you would go to a church and confess, you have to come to me and
confess.
confess. Because we have a conversation on a regular basis, on a daily basis for an hour early in the morning. So that's how we start our days, me and him.
Okay.
He's a friend of mine since college. For the past 27 years, we have known each other. Okay. So now when I pick my cashews, I'm mindful. This is my 3rd cashew.
Okay.
This is my 4th. This is my last one for the day. So when you have something measurable around what you want to do or what you want to achieve, you know what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
And that's what is missing for a lot of people when they set goals. So bringing the clarity is what the book helps them with, and the workshop. So without the workshop, the book is just a bunch of pages.
Okay. Okay.
What the workshop does is it makes them dive deep into themselves and understand who they are and what they're chasing from inside and not from the outside. Not for somebody else, it's for themselves. So it becomes a deep kind of a reflection process through which, when they go through it, it's life altering.
Beautiful.